Hey, ladies and gentlemen, how are you? Good to be back. Sorry I am late. We had a national testing of like an emergency alert. So it's sort of like the EAS system in the US. They have made like a new emergency alert thing here where they were testing. It's sort of like a notification and your phone makes a lot of noise, sort of like a Amber Alert in the US, and it's supposed to tell you if there's something going wrong or there's some sort of danger or a weather event, that type of thing. So they were testing it just a little bit ago, and I didn't want to be on the air while this thing was going off and being really loud. So we're a little bit late. Yeah, this is what it looked like here. This is what it looked like. So it was like Oz Alert, and they were basically, yeah, sending out this critical alert thing, and they were testing it throughout Australia this afternoon. So what? Oh no, not again. Not again. People being drunk in cars. Not again. I feel like summer in LA between like July and September is like peak car chase time. Like the best car chases in LA happen between like July and like September. Every year we get like crazy car chases. Hold on. I'll have a look. I'll see if it's on. Let's see if it's on ABC7 right now. Oh, it is on. Let's have a look. Let's go to ABC7. I'm gonna take you out there. Let's watch. I wanna watch car chases with you. Hold on. Let me get out of this. Let me take you there. Alright. Let's see what's going on. I haven't caught up, so I haven't been watching it, so I don't know what they're doing. So we're watching this car that looks like it has no lights on. So he's got no lights on. He's not going that fast. The no lights is a bit worrying. Like, it's pitch black in some of that highway, you can't see him at all. Now he's got lights on? I don't know, it looked like he didn't have lights on a minute ago. Let's see. What are they saying? We can't play the audio for too long, that's what gets you in trouble with them?
Yeah, very much so. I mean, like you said, I don't remember a pursuit where they transversed LA County this quickly, this fast. And the fact that speeds are excessive, traffic is light, kind of works to everybody's advantage, but still.
Okay. Alright, they're saying that you guys would have heard it, that they're basically, crossing the county pretty quickly. Let's see, we'll have to wait till I get another close up. I'm guessing they're near the airport, maybe that's why we're not getting a zoom in.
Alcohol. Now that person is going well over 100 miles per hour, weaving all over the city of Los Angeles and surrounding areas.
Wow, over 100 miles an hour. All right. We'll stick with this for a little bit because we love seeing the endings to these. We haven't done one in a while. I don't remember the last time we did a car chase out of LA, but we'll have to wait and see. Here, wait till we get like a close up again. It's been a while. Can you guys remember the last time we did a car chase out of California? I think it's been a number of months. We'll have to wait and have a look. Drunks and lights, it's almost like what it is, right? I don't know what it is about summer in LA. It's like every time we get like mental car chases. Like we had that one last year, and we had a few last year. We had one where someone was pulled out of the car at gunpoint on the highway. There was obviously the one that we all remember where that girl ended up hitting that barricade at like 140. That was traumatic to watch. That was that girl, man. Oof, what a way to go, unfortunately. She tried to change lanes and then she thought there was an off ramp, and then she got like she went to turn and realized there was no off ramp and then tried to overcorrect and then smack into the freaking underpass. It was pretty bad. Chipmunk said it's bad. I've watched enough LA car chases to know where they go, where they can go and escape. Oh, here we go. We got a more close up. Oh, it's this red car, this maroon car that we're watching. All right. Here, what are they saying?
Did lose the vehicle at some point. Obviously, we're doing our best to catch up with the car. We do not know LAPD or CHP's helicopter, whether they're still over the vehicle, but definitely in pursuit of that vehicle on the ground, at least as they try to keep up with this car. I don't even know, Bruce, how would they even be able to stay right behind this vehicle on the ground?
So are they saying that they've lost it a couple of times, and that's what yeah, so this video on the right is from earlier. The reason they're zoomed out, I think, on the other photo is because 'cause they've lost it. That they don't know where it is, that their helicopter's not been able to keep up with him. We'll have to wait and see if they switch over to another feed. Oh, there's a bunch of sirens and lights, I see that. Let's see.
Coming upon vehicles quickly and passing them quickly with no reaction time.
So, what do officers do in this situation?
Alright, seems like we're gonna have to wait. Wait and see if they jump back on it or not. Hey, thank you. We still don't know what the gems do, but I appreciate it. Hey, good to see you guys. We see you. Hey, we see you. We see that guy too. Um, yeah, let's wait and see if we get a better footage. I don't know how you lose a car on a highway, but apparently they can.
There are multiple helicopters up there also.
Bruce, can you talk a little bit about the fact that this vehicle is blacked out? Is that something that we see often? Obviously, it's nighttime.
Yeah, see, I noticed that when we started watching that there's like no lights, no interior lights. Doesn't even look like, other than braking, like the backlights are working really at all. So this car is like really dark on that highway. You can only really see it in certain situations. Doesn't make it good for that driver if he hits something or if he can't see out in front of him to maneuver. This could end pretty badly. So hopefully they catch back up to him in a minute. Hey, thanks, Sean. I appreciate it. I appreciate you giving a membership. 100 miles an hour. It's a pretty quick to go when you've got the kind of traffic that LA does. Like in Australia, we don't get that kind of traffic really unless you're on a certain highway here, but not the sort of crazy traffic that you get down the 101 or in LA. It's busy as hell. Even at like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 1 a.m., like it's pretty busy. Yeah, it looks like it. At least from that old footage. Why have they not been able to find him? Let's see.
Nature of this pursuit.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if we talked about what kind of car this is, but it looks like a bigger sedan of some sort. With
It's a
some
Dodge
weight to
Maroon
it.
Charger.
Right.
So if you have a Dodge Charger, these are high performance vehicles, meaning they have a lot of torque, a lot of.
All right, they're just trying. They're buying time. They're like, oh, what kind of car is this? Oh, it's some sort of maroon car. It's some sort of large car. I love their descriptive words. They're just like, yeah, it's a car of some sort. It looks like it may drive. It may move. It may it may be able to proceed forward through gravity. They're just trying to find words. It's pretty funny. So I think they're trying to see if they can spot. Did they try to go in for gas? Is that what's
Lost
going
eyes
on?
on it just a little bit ago. We know that that car had gotten back on the 210 freeway. Where is this right now?
In
Josh?
Montrose.
Montrose.
This is in
okay.
Montrose right now. And again, it's really hard to tell. There is the
There's the
vehicle, we believe. Obviously, it looks like its lights are now on and it appears to possibly be getting gas.
He's going to get gas. This will be interesting. We might even get a view of the driver. There is a petrol Bowser in the car. Like the handle is in there, and there is someone in that vehicle. We just saw them like, grab that door. Wonder if they'll take off with the thing still in the petrol tank. Like in some sort of movie. Let's see. Are they going to pay for their petrol? That could be interesting. Maybe that's why they had to run in. They had to like pay. Because, that's the difference between Australia and America. In Australia, you can pull up to a petrol station and pay for fuel after you put the fuel in the tank. But in America, you normally have to prepay for your fuel, don't you? So that's a difference. So he would have had to have prepaid most likely for the fuel. Oh, the cop car was like 1 second away. It was just on that corner. All right, we're back. Let's see what happens. Come on, Johnny Blaze, let's go. Although Johnny Blaze is a motorcycle, but come on, Ghost Rider. There was a in the mid 2000s and like leading up until the 2010s, there was a European group of people called Ghost Rider, and they used to have cars like this. And they'd go through all like the Autobahn and places in Europe and try and bait police into like chasing them, and they would often outrun them and get away. And this went on for years and years, and I think eventually they caught him, but there was like 7 or 8 DVDs that they made, of them, like, outrunning cops, doing, like, over 150 on the highways in these ultra modified cars. So, if you hear me calling them Ghost Rider, it's not the comic book character, it's based off that European people that used to go and bait the police in Sweden and Germany and a bunch of other places. So, I mean, this person possible DUI. It can't be that DUI if they got to a petrol station, filled up the car, were able to pay for it, and then get out of there. Can't be that DUI. All right, we're back. Let's see what speed we're going to get up to. Pretty already accelerating, getting through that traffic. Be interesting to know if like California Highway Patrol might shut it down eventually and try and close an exit or some lanes to try and stop this car from going any further, because they've done that before, and we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, Jesus, dark. You can barely see it when it gets in those shadows on the highway. There we go. Now it's picking up speed. Now they're really going. I hope this does not end badly. It's never nice to see someone crash one of these vehicles and obliterate themselves. We've seen that before. Um, we'll have to wait and see. There's a funny thing with LA and these car chases. There's only so far you can go. The highways, the way they're made in LA, uh, you have a choice. You can go north and try and get to like San Francisco or even further, maybe, or you can sort of go south and end up in like San Diego, um, maybe even further south than that. But half the time, these guys end up playing sort of like highway tag, and they'll go north and then they'll jump south and they'll go north again. And there's never like a clear plan of how to outrun the cops. They never seem to have some sort of like grand scheme of how they're gonna get away. So we most of the time we just see them get on the highway, get off the highway, go around some streets in a residential area, and then get back on the highway. There's no real good plan for it. Although last year, do you guys remember we saw those people on the bikes? They had these kids or young people on like motorbikes, and at some point during the chase, like 10, 15 other young people on motorbikes joined them, and they were like riding through LA as this giant group. And then eventually they ditched the bikes, and I think they ended up getting away. Don't know if they ever got their motorbikes back. So that was an interesting one. The cops who were behind them, when they pulled out of that gas station and got back on the highway, there was three patrol cars that were right near it. But I'm guessing they don't want to go up to the speed that this guy is doing. I'm guessing they don't want to do it. Maybe they've got a restricted chase, or they've been told not to get up to the same speed that they're doing. Sometimes they're not allowed to, like they're not allowed to engage, and they're basically just to sit back and watch. Maybe they think it's too dangerous. Don't know. But slowing down again. Oh, on the wrong side of the road now. Oh, that was earlier. That could have been dangerous. All right, so have they lost him again?
Approach here, because we've seen a situation where at least twice now this vehicle has been able to evade officers. It has to get frustrating for them, and I imagine they do not want to give up easily on this. Oh, we can't see the vehicle, never mind, we're off this. Correct? This is something that they are going to be in dogged pursuit of.
Yeah, it is hard. It is frustrating for law enforcement but we're trained to deal with issues.
Sounds like they've you can see all the lights down here. Look, 3 cop cars in the left-hand side now. Did they find him? Or are they just trying to get onto the highway? Your guess is as good as mine, but they said they lost him for a minute again on the sky camera. So let's so you got there you go. You got 3 cruisers. They're sort of spreading out. See how they've given like an equal length between them. Wonder why? I wonder what they're going to try and do.
As friendlies or allies in the area. The other thing too, if he has bailed out, they're going to run the license plate of this vehicle, find out who the registered owner is, find out where the vehicle lives, so to speak, and they're going to go to that location, and maybe that's where our suspect is.
And I just want to recap.
All right, there we go. Maybe bailed out. It's an interesting way that these cops are heading now. Now they're off the highway again. Let's see if we get a close up in a second and we'll find out where exactly they're heading to. Kaliza said it's nice they let him fill up first. Yeah, they got like a lot of like, manners and hospitality. They're like, sure, we could help you with that. Oh, is it over? Oh, what
Right
happened?
now, we are over where the foot bail happened in the Pasadena area, and I'm seeing at least, it looks like 2 people possibly in handcuffs or their hands behind their back on the ground. So it actually seems like we're dealing with more than one suspect, possibly up to 3 right now, and unclear if they all came from that one vehicle. Bruce, are you seeing this?
Yeah, I'm delayed just a little couple of seconds, but to your point, even when I was active in law enforcement involved in pursuits, and for the years I've been commenting for Channel 7.
Looks like at least a few of them 3. I see 3 people that might have bailed out of the vehicle. Is that the car right there, the red one? That might be it right there. Is that it? Or is that silver? I can't tell. I think it's a different car. Maybe he didn't want his buddies getting into trouble and he let them out and let them try and run away. Doesn't seem like they got very far. Here you go. Now they're being dragged. Stop resisting. Bush. Stop resisting. That's what happens every time. Yep. Now they're on their feet. All right. So where is the driver?
Which agency it's with, but we do believe that the car came to a stop. There was a foot bail that happened in the Pasadena area. Unclear if it's Pasadena police, but we're trying to get a better glimpse of what exactly is happening on the ground. It does look like 2 people are in custody, possibly more. They walked 1 person away to the vehicle.
And this is
Yeah, it'd be interesting to find out whether that car continued on and he just let his buddies out like that. We've seen that before too, where they've tried to, not let their friends get into trouble. So there you go, someone being patted down. Look like they're fairly young people, which is not surprising. And so we've got at least a couple.
Way in connection with this pursuit, because right now it looks like the officers are now searching the ground where those suspects were to see if they left anything behind. But I saw 3 individuals in handcuffs with their hands behind their back taken to, we're about to get a better view. There's 1, there's 2.
That does not to me look as though it was the same person that we saw getting back in the car at that gas station, unless of course this is the same person who had a hoodie up at the gas station and then did not when they're, now standing there.
Well, they're saying these might not be the same like the person we saw at the gas station. Yeah, but where's the vehicle? Like, that's what you're more worried about. You find the vehicle, you'll find the driver, most likely. Like, I don't know why you're concentrating on these 3 that bailed out. Like, you can wonder if it's the driver all you want. That won't help anyone. Looks like a female, possibly, and a dude. And maybe another female. So a couple of young women possibly, and a guy. There you go. Say hi for mom and dad. you wave to them with your handcuffs. You know, say hi to mom and dad, because your parents might be watching on TV at home. They might recognize the car. All right, we're gonna have to see if they can find the driver now.
210 freeway at La Tuna Canyon just after 9 o'clock tonight. Police began pursuing this vehicle, believing that there was a driver who was under the influence. LAPD, the Mission Division, started this pursuit and then passed this off to the California Highway Patrol. The car we've been following for the past 40 minutes or so.
Sorry, guys, my cat was being really naughty, clawing stuff that she shouldn't claw. Bad kitty. Bad kitty. Very bad. All I heard was like clawing from like another room, and I was hoping she wasn't clawing our new bed that we got like a year ago, because she's very naughty like that.
Blacked out, although it has happened before. And the other point that Bruce made that
Here
I
she
did,
is. Hey.
just want to highlight was a little bit about just the way in which this car was traversing the city, going so fast at one point.
All right.
We lost it, then we were able to catch up with it.
So far, no update, but we do see those people being taken away in handcuffs. So wait and see if we get another update, and maybe it'll be over. Khaleesa said it's a nice American way of bringing people together, watching high-speed car chases. I want to know why it's only in California that we mostly get them, like in Bakersfield and sometimes San Diego, sometimes LA City. Why is it only there, but we don't get them in places like Florida? Like, I rarely see live streams of car chases in like Florida or Texas or something like that. Yeah, it was Rory. Yeah, it was very naughty. I have to go check our bed. I hope she hasn't clawed the freaking bed, the crazy animal. She's very naughty. Oh, it died. Oh, they're saying it's over. There you go. There's a 49ers for you. It looks like they killed the live stream. Here, I'm gonna try and see if we can go back to what's the other one that does it? NBC LA. Yeah, we'll see if they've got it. So they're calling it over. They don't have it. What about CBS? Let me check if CBS has running a live. They ended it. So they ended it too. I don't know what to tell you. I'm guessing they reckon they've got them. So, Lynn said maybe all our freeways winding all over back and forth make it easy. Yeah, that's probably it. Smash the like button. Yeah, I would appreciate it. All right, that was fun. That was fun to do that. All right, now the title of the show. A female in the UK told her partner that she was pregnant, went through the pregnancy, went to the doctors, got fake scans from online, and even gave birth. So how did she do that? Well, she was buying fake baby bumps online and wearing them in front of her family and trying to trick her partner at the time. How he wasn't involved in the birth of the baby, I don't know. But she eventually had to give birth, and she decided to buy a lifelike newborn doll that you see on the screen here. And she was carting this around, telling people that this was her child. Like, her whole family was involved, including, look, they threw her a baby shower, a baby gender reveal event. It got to the point where, when you have a new baby in the family, everyone wants to come and visit. Mom and dad and grandma, they all want to come and see the new baby, right? Well, they did. They came to visit the child, and they said, "Well, how about we all go back to grandma's house and, to give the parents a break? How about we look after the baby for a little bit so you can have some rest?" So they did. And they went back to grandma's house, put the baby in the spare room, and the grandma was sort of like, "How come the baby doesn't cry?" We went on this 1 hour car drive to grandma's house. We had multiple people in the car, including the child. But in this long trip, this kid does not make any noise. This newborn baby does not make a sound. Well, she got busted by other children. So in the back seat with the baby in a carrier, they had other small children from the family. Those small children recognized that the baby was a doll, and they told the adults, they're like, "Hey, that new baby of hers, it kind of looks like a doll." And these kids basically busted her. So her name is Kira Cousins. She's 23. She's pretty young. She's a former supermarket worker out of the UK. And last October, she made headlines around the world because it was exposed that she had tricked her boyfriend into believing that she had given birth. Now, she named this doll Bonnie Lee Joyce, and her ex-boyfriend's name is Jamie. I'm not gonna give out his last name because that guy has suffered enough. And, so Kira is from Scotland, and they're saying here that she acknowledges what she did was wrong, but she claims she was unable to tell Jamie that she was no longer pregnant after suffering a miscarriage. Um, okay. I mean, I get it. Miscarriage is a very traumatic thing, and I understand, but at the same time, what I don't understand about is, shouldn't your partner be the one that you can open up to about this type of thing? Here's this baby again. So she used to swaddle it, put a beanie on it. Um, I don't know. Do you guys think that looks lifelike? Yeah, I'm going to zoom it out a little bit. Do you think that baby looks at all lifelike, that you could trick your boyfriend into thinking that you had given birth to a child? Now, I've heard of hands off fathers before, but I would think that dad might pick up that he's not had to do any nappy changes, that mum is not getting up at 2 a.m. in the morning to feed the child, that mum is sleeping all through the night. It's a little odd. Gayla said, "Did he never see it naked?" Possibly not. Maybe he's a really hands-off father. Casey said, "I do not think it looks lifelike. It doesn't look convincing, no." So they're saying here that she's finally decided to tell what happened to the world. And Kira explained why she faked giving birth to a daughter named Bonnie Lee Joyce. And they're saying here that the boyfriend genuinely thought the doll was real. She told the Sunday Mail this week, "I couldn't tell him. I did lose a child. I tried to tell him when I first lost the child. I still have messages on my phone which said, 'Jamie, we need to sit down,' but I couldn't speak to him about anything. I can hold my hands up and say, 'No, I shouldn't have used a doll,' but at the same time, nobody knows what our relationship was like." Um, sure. I could understand that maybe you have a unique relationship, but I think most men know if their wife is pregnant or girlfriend is pregnant. I also think most guys understand where babies come from, and that if you don't have to go to a hospital and be in labor for a period of time where they can actually see that baby come out of your lady parts all through a C-section, I would be very suspicious of apparently you giving birth, that you wouldn't have to go to a lactation consultant, a nurse would come to the home. Like, where is the aftercare here? Like, these hospitals don't just go, "See you later, love. Have fun with the child. Bye." they actually have nurses who do and come and check on you. They come and weigh the baby, they check if you're feeding the child okay, are there any medical issues? The fact that none of this happened after giving birth would be setting off red flags for me. I don't know about the boyfriend, but they're saying here Jamie, the boyfriend, told how he believed he had become a father and insisted he would not have continued the relationship had he known that Bonnie Lee Joyce was a doll. He said, if I had ever known that that was really a doll, I'd have run off sooner. I've got no clue what really happened, to be honest. Kira wore an artificial baby bump for months, shared baby scan images, and even threw a lavish gender reveal party where the couple were photographed together, celebrating upon learning that they were expecting a daughter. Throughout the deception that spanned several months, she also posted pictures of baby clothes and gifts, including a 1,000-pound pram and car seat, along what is believed to be an AI generated footage showing the baby kicking inside the womb. She wrote about hospital appointments and claimed antenatal tests had detected a heart defect. Yeah, it detected a heart defect, but not in the child, in you, because you are heartless to do that to not only your partner, but to your family and everyone surrounding you. You know, you are a heartless person to do that. Um, they're saying here, said she also allowed Jamie to believe she was still pregnant, and her elaborate deception spiraled out of control because she was frightened of telling him the truth. She said, I think there was a bit of fear and shock as well. I'd gone through that myself. How do you tell someone that you've already gone through that all by yourself? Well, you don't trick them and buy a semi lifelike doll and start carting it around like it's you know, like like it's a real baby. I just don't know how that works. Like, why can't you tell them? Why isn't that something you could tell your partner who you're ready to have a child with? You're ready to have a child with this guy, then you're a big girl. Then you can tell him everything. Because I tell you, love, if you're really going to have a child, he's going to see everything. And he's going to know everything. So you better be okay with talking from the heart, from everything, every microscopic detail, because that's probably what would have to happen if you really were pregnant. Um, so Jamie says, that's the boyfriend, he has no recollection whatsoever of her attempting to tell him that she had suffered a miscarriage. Kira went on to claim that she had given birth to a baby weighing 5 pounds, 4 ounces, and said that she was able to maintain the ruse by keeping her own unsuspecting family away from the doll. She said, all of my family had been asking, what is going on? Is she depressed? But I wouldn't let anyone near that doll, only me and Jamie. I don't know if this guy is just daft or just a really bad dad. How come you never picked up your child, changed your child, bathed your child, fed your child? How come in the time that she had this baby that you never did any of those 4 things? Don't mean to be mean to this guy because he's already gone through a lot, but that would make you a very shit dad. That would make you a very crap partner because you should be picking up more of the slack for your poor wife or girlfriend that's given birth. Should be helping her more, but maybe she was being very defensive of the doll. Maybe she was like, I can handle it all. Still a bit weird. She claims Jamie had cared for what he believed was their newborn during a visit to his own parents' home. Just days before her deception was uncovered, she had feared the truth about their so called daughter was about to unravel when younger relatives grew suspicious. They revealed how they believed the baby they had traveled with during a car journey was in fact a doll. It is understood it was Kira's mother who eventually discovered the lifelike doll concealed in the bedroom in October. While those closest to Kira grew suspicious after never hearing the baby cry, Kira is said to have claimed that Bonnie Lee died. Of course she did. She said he took that doll without me to his mum's and dad's house. It's about a 20-minute drive. Everyone in that house saw it, and none of them twigged. It all came out days later after we had picked up Jamie's relatives from a birthday party. The doll had been in the back seat. I had been thinking, how do I get out of this now? When the boys got out of the car, they said to their mum, that was a doll. No one said to Jamie at that point. No one had asked him what was going on. Kira claimed she was ultimately forced to confess to Jamie that the baby was, in fact, a lifelike plastic doll several days later. Recounting the moment she finally came clean to her partner, she said, he told me I was a psycho and walked out. That was the last time we saw each other. Jamie says he disputes that it was Kira who told him directly and said that he found out the truth that it was no longer, a real baby and it was not through her. Kira questioned whether her family and friends generally did not realize that baby was a doll and said if they didn't, they were stupid. I think you're the stupid one, Kira. Kira claimed she has spoken to Jamie on the phone since the scandal broke. She said, we have spoken quite a few times since, but it's weird. I can't even understand what we are because we don't hate each other, but we don't love each other. Girl, he is never going to come back to you. He thinks you're a mental patient. He is never, ever, ever going to go anywhere near you again because you tried to trick him and his family for 9 months that this was a real baby and that he had become a father. That is like some Netflix level deception. They're going to make a documentary about you. Channel 4, Channel 5, BBC, Sky News, someone is going to make a documentary about what you did. I guarantee it. Someone like that, either or in the USA, some cable channel over there for their documentary series is going to run a show about you. Here's a photo of it, by the way. Here's Kira's photo. I don't know how you get away with this for 9, 10, 11 months, almost a year. How do you not touch your child, pick it up, cradle it, hold it? There's something wrong there. Like I don't understand. Like how did she I want to know the story about how she gave birth. I want to know more about that. Like how did that work? Because you didn't just walk out the house one day and then pop out a child on the way to, the supermarket and come back with the baby and be like, "Oh, I gave birth." I don't think that's the way it works, and I wanna know more about how that unfolded because it doesn't make any sense. Let's have a look. I wanna see if there's any more information on it. Hold on. Kira Cousins, hey? Let's see what else we can find about Kira Cousins. Let's have a look. All right, there we go. Because, yeah, I want to know how she gave birth. Like, how did that work? Let's have a look. Here's another photo of her. Oh, here's a photo of her with the baby bump. Uh, what? That girl doesn't look pregnant to me. She looks she looks like a thin girl with a really protruding belly. She doesn't look like a pregnant girl. Like pregnant girls, not all of them, but a lot of them sort of fill out in other areas to accommodate the pregnancy. And this girl just looks like someone who shoved a watermelon up her dress. Like she does not look actually pregnant. Yeah, this girl does not actually look like she is carrying a child. This looks bizarre. Taylor looked pretty normal too. Wow, that's true. Sean said, "Get the flock out of here." Yeah, she doesn't look. She looks like she cut a watermelon in half and shoved it up her dress. Gayla said, "That's what I look like with my first. I look like I shoved a beach ball up my top." Yeah, but she really just doesn't, well, in my opinion, doesn't look pregnant. Yeah, do you guys wanna see more of the fake baby? Yeah. Yeah, I no. This looks like something out of Village of the Damned. This looks like something that'll come to life and haunt you, and then try to murder you if you don't pick up the phone 3 times, and then says you're gonna die in 7 days, maybe come through a TV and haunt you. This does not look like a real I love how every part of the child is covered. The head, the hands, the feet, everything. There's the only thing they've got, I'm surprised she didn't wrap a scarf around its face. "Oh, yeah, it's a real baby. Look, oh, I even covered it." Yeah, this is, I don't know how they didn't realize earlier. That child doesn't look right. Um, I don't know. I've seen some skinny pregnant women. They don't all look like that. Carlisa said she's the ideal pregnant girl look when you're skinny everywhere, but have a cute baby bump. Would be great if it was a real girl that was really pregnant, but this girl, not pregnant. This girl, fake baby bump. Actually, this photo looks more natural. This one looks more natural. I know it's the same dress, the same day, but it actually looks more natural the way she's standing there. It looks a little more believable. But the other one where she's in the street just doesn't, I don't know. This one doesn't look right to me. It looks a little like odd. Yeah. Anyway, you guys can see that one again. So that's at her baby, like a baby shower slash gender reveal. All right. What else can we find out about this crazy woman? Do you believe her claims that this was some sort of, you know, shock from losing the first real baby? I mean, it could be. There are medical conditions where girls who have a miscarriage, they go through some sort of like a grief at losing the baby, and sometimes they even give them a surrogate. They'll even give them like a doll to try and work through that grief. But I I still question whether this woman was ever pregnant. I don't think so. What I think is probably most likely is this guy was gonna break up with her. I think he had already had enough of the crazy, and he was gonna break up with her. And she was like, "Oh, you can't break up with me, I'm pregnant." And then that's how we got to a fake baby being born that was a doll. I just have a funny feeling because this guy was so quick to get away from her as soon as he found out. He wasn't even understanding. Not that I think he should be, but he was just like, "I've already had enough of this woman. I am getting the hell away from her." So I think he may have already had a feeling that she was a little bit bananas before the baby thing. Let's see if we can find out. I want to know how she gave birth because it doesn't make sense to me. Let's have a look. It's hard to be part of. So apparently, she did put out a Instagram post to tell everyone, and it said, "I'm so sorry. I wasn't pregnant. There was no baby. I made it up, kept it going way too far. I faked scans, messages, a whole birth story, and acted like a doll was a real baby. I know how bad it is. I effed up. I just didn't know how to stop once I started." Hmm. Well, I wanna know that birth story. Here's another photo of her that she posted online when she purported to be pregnant. So she posted this online and she wrote, "Swear she's the cutest bump ever." Okay, love. Yeah, let's have a look. So she wrote something here. It's been a challenging and heartbreaking couple of days regarding baby Gardner. Jamie and I have had some time to talk with family and close friends to share some information, and I feel now as everyone's checking in and asking we share news of our beautiful princess. Thankfully to the midwives and sonographers, these last few tests have picked up something that breaks our hearts, grieving that the healthy baby we thought we would have, but knowing soon that she will still be in our arms. They let us know that the baby has one congenital heart defect. This means that she will be born with it at birth and will be present, not sadly her adult life. The condition is known as a complete balanced atrioventricular septal defect, or AVSD, or AV canal, which means he has a hole in the middle of her heart. I'd be very concerned if he has a hole in the middle of her heart. As it didn't develop and form the correct way, that often happens with fake babies. That happens all the time. And it has been this way since early stages of pregnancy. Yeah, fake babies tend to have holes in their hearts. While the ventricles leak the blood that should be pumping around her body, her heart struggles. I think you're struggling with oxygen to your head. Now, while this is terrifying for us both as parents, we can't begin to understand what lies ahead for us both and her two families, the pain, etc. Our girl will go through, and questioning what type of life she may have. Guys, a lot of babies are born with holes in their heart, and if they're not too bad, most of the time, by the time the baby is like 10, it has healed and gone away. So, this whole drama farming that she is doing is ridiculous. She obviously craved the attention, obviously wanted everyone concerned about her, because this whole like manipulation this message is about is just too far. It's not like this baby is born with some sort of birth problem, like her heart is born on the outside of the body, or is missing a limb, or part of the skull didn't develop, or those are real things that can happen, and they are very serious medical issues. Hole in the heart is not normally that big of a deal. I was born with multiple holes in my heart when I was born, and I'm fine. I grew up, didn't have any surgery. They healed over time, and now I'm a 6'2" guy, and I'm fine. Grew up, didn't stunt my height or anything. I'm fine. So this whole thing here is just her basically grief farming with the family members. And she said the first defect will need to be corrected with open heart surgery. Will it? Will it? Okay. When she is born, no doubt now prem. Oh, really? The fake baby's going to be premature? Funny how that happens. To ensure her heart doesn't fail and impact on her lungs. Where are you getting this information? I'd love to know which sonographer and doctor you went to that made up all this. Did you pull this from ChatGPT maybe? Did you ask the AI to give you some sort of baby problem? Warner still said this nutcase needs to be hospitalized. Yeah, she may need to be institutionalized maybe. So hey, yeah, thank you for Danny. Thank you for the gift of membership. I appreciate it. You guys are very kind. Very kind. This woman is crackers. I don't think she's suffering from some sort of like post something depression or something from losing the original baby. And it's not fair to other women who really do have that after trying for many years, losing a baby they thought they were going to have. That is a real serious thing. And this woman taking advantage of that makes her even crueler and more sick in the head, really. Because, yeah, there really are women who deal with that. And it is a very difficult thing to go through. Oh, here, she's explaining to her partner how the baby died. And he says, for F's sake. And then she says, something happened to Bonnie Lee. But I need someone here with me to explain things to you. so you can understand. And he says, what? And she says, Bonnie Lee died, but you need to give me time to tell you everything, and I will, I promise. He's like, what the F? Please, I know you want answers, but please, Jamie, you've left me in the dark for long enough. I'm coming up. She says, you ain't getting in charge. You ain't getting in. So charge on like you won't get in. And he says, this isn't fair. Selfish. Bro, just leave her alone. Run away a mile away and get away from this crazy woman. Um, so that's how you tell your partner that your baby died, huh? You're all like, Bonnie Lee died. Really? What? Where's the ambulance? Where's the coroner? Where's the hospital visit? Where's the notification as me as the father? How come you didn't tell me that my child died? We're not divorced. Apparently, we're a couple. Yet, apparently, baby dies, and you tell me that I can't come up and talk to you because you ain't getting in. So, charge on like you won't get in. What an absolute crackers woman. Crackers. She is crackers in the head. Crackers. To be 23 and actually be at a fertile age and playing games like this to keep a guy, I'm sure that's what it is. I'm sure this guy was going to break up with her and she just pretended to be pregnant to keep him on the hook, thinking at some point maybe she might really get pregnant and then be able to keep going. I think that is what happened. I think she was hoping that, if you kept him around just a little bit longer and they had sex enough that she would naturally fall pregnant and then this would all go away. And it didn't. For some reason, she never did. And very lucky for that guy. I'm glad that she didn't actually have a real child to him. And yeah. Gail said she means she miscarried, that's why she got the doll. Yeah, but she's not telling him that. She's just like, hey, the kid died. At this point, the kid is already alive. Like, it's already been born. That's the thing. Like, she's already given fake birth to the kid. And then she tells him all of a sudden, oh, Bonnie Lee died. Like, that's the thing. Like, if it happened, 3 months after being pregnant or whatever, and she had that conversation with him, sure. Okay. That's probably a normal thing. Um, but not after you've had a fake pregnancy about this kid. She wasn't having sex with her fake baby bump. There's the problem with her plan. That guy would have that guy would have found out. He would have yeah, he would have found out. Uh Content Angel said she it looks like she could beat him up. Yeah. Yeah, she is quite tall, right? Let's see. Kim said they won't know it's a doll if I bury it. Don't give her ideas. Don't give this woman ideas. Next time she will bury it, and then we'll never find out. So yeah, guys, she is just absolute. The F, she posted this online. Oh my god, how did the family not know? Thanks, great gran and granddad, for my chair. I'm even opening my eyes to start being nosy in it. I don't think anyone would pick up. Are you trying to say that no one picked up on Facebook that that wasn't a real child? If so, I have a bridge to sell you for $1 million. What city? I don't know where they lived. Hold on. They're in Scotland, I know that. Let me have a look. Where are they from? I'm probably gonna pronounce it wrong, but is Ardiri? That's probably not how you pronounce it. I know Scottish words are not pronounced phonetically. Here. From here. That is where she's from. Food that for their families? I don't know, man. Lynn said, I would think the baby was very sick if I believed it was real. What is it? Airdrie? All right, there we go. Airdrie. They're from Airdrie in Scotland because all Scottish words are pronounced like they have random H's, L's, I's, E's, Z's, T's, L's, more L's and E's in random places. Unlike Spanish, where you can guess where the J's and H's change, you can't with Scottish. It's all over the place. All right, let me see. What else can we find about Kira Cousins? Let's see. I swear to God, it's got to be that he. Oh, okay, I see. Good work, Kira. Ah, interesting. She's posting like thirst trap pics online on her Instagram. Oh, she posted something here. Oh, I want to read it. Hold on, guys. I'm gonna have to go here. All right, what did this woman post? Let me see. Go here. Continue. Get out. Hold on, guys. I'm just trying to get to this story. She posted something. Oh my God, go away. I hate Instagram. I don't even have an account. I'm trying to read it. And I'm keep getting blocked. Oh my God, go away. What does it say? Regarding the latest tabloid story, I'd like to set the record straight. I never believed everything printed in the. Shut up. As if, woman, as if. She said, I'd like to set the record straight and address some comments I have seen. Firstly, I have never believed everything printed in the tabloids. We believe it. She says, I never have and never will. Headlines rarely tell a full story. Then tell us the full story, you absolute crackers. The article published today does not reflect everything that happened, nor was it a sit down interview as it may appear. What was it then? It was simply based on comments I had made after reaching a point where I felt like I needed to defend myself against things that were being said online. I made sure I had evidence to support anything I comment on because I understand not everyone will automatically believe me. We don't believe you. I have also seen comments referring to things I supposedly said previously. Many of the things have come from an Instagram account with over 30,000 followers that was active at the time everything happened. That same account has repeatedly shared what I know to be false information. I want to make this absolutely clear that she lists some Instagram accounts that she says are hers. And then she says, regarding payment, I will attach proof in the comments. Nobody involved in the article was paid, and I certainly wasn't. I never asked for payment. All I ever wanted was to be left alone, move on with my life, and continue focusing on becoming a better version of myself. No. I work incredibly hard. No. Both on myself and financially. No. To build the life I have today. No. Nothing has been handed to me. No. And I'm proud of how far I've come through hard work and determination. Shut up. No one is harder on myself for what happened than I am. Nope. I have lived with it every single day. Nope. If I could go back and change the past, I would in a heartbeat. What? Like the heartbeat from your damaged kid's heart? Maybe that would be the heartbeat you should go back and think about. Since then, I have worked tirelessly on myself, on learning healthier ways to communicate. What? Like instead of lying for a year, telling your partner after the kid is born that it died and that he can't come up and talk to you because he won't get in the house that apparently you two are supposed to be living in together. Okay. Yes, maybe you could learn to communicate better and just not lie about everything. Thanks to the incredible support of an NHS team who has helped me through some of my darkest times in my life because of your own doing. Getting the help I need, definitely. Receiving a diagnosis, yes, I gave you one too, of being crackers. And finally, understanding myself has changed my life. No, it hasn't. You're just trying to get out of sounding like an absolute mental person. It has helped me make sense of some things I struggled with for years and has given me the tools to better manage my emotions, communicate in healthier ways, and continue growing as a person. I know this doesn't excuse my past actions, but it has allowed me to take responsibility, learn from them, and ensure I become the best version of myself. No. What does it say here? She said, I see so many comments about me being sectioned. So, yeah, I might have made that comment too. This is not something I take lightly, and it takes a great deal for that decision to be made. Oh, she actually was. They're saying here that she was sectioned in the UK. If you don't know what sectioned is in the UK is, it's basically like a 5150 hold. Except yeah, it's basically like a 5150 hold in the USA. It basically means she was put in a mental institution against her will. Makes sense. I think that's probably a good thing for her. She says, I want to thank the nurses who cared for me, receiving the help I needed, and understanding my diagnosis. You can't use diagnosis as a shield. You can't do that. You can't be like, I have a diagnosis, therefore it explains why I'm a crazy bitch. No, it doesn't work that way. You can say I have a diagnosis and it may explain some of my actions, but it doesn't excuse what you have done through your own actions earlier. You can't use it that way because it diminishes other people that may be suffering from the same diagnosis that you have. And it takes everyone down to a lower level because you say, those things that I did, that may happen to all people who are diagnosed with this, whatever it is. So you cannot use it as a shield for what you've done. And it says here, my diagnosis has allowed me to become a healthier person and has given me unity to build a better future while ensuring I continue to learn from my actions and not tolerate, however, in the continued blame directed towards my family. They are harder on themselves than they have for not recognizing that I needed help. There's a lot of rubbish. I'm not going to keep going. She keeps talking about how she needed a lot of help and stuff. Yeah, that's probably true, woman. You probably do need a lot of help. It takes a lot for someone to try and trick their partner for a year and then pop out a fake baby and then accept payment, gifts, money because you gave birth to a non-existent child. Kelly said she needs mental health. Well, she did. She was put into a mental hospital. That's what sectioned means. Section means that that's what you can yes. Yeah, here you go. Sorry. I didn't mean to leave that up. I got sidetracked listening to her rubbish. They're saying here, someone messaged her saying, "Can you just confirm something for me, please? That I did not get paid for any comments in today's article." And then but the thing is, she doesn't show who it's from. Here, can I put this up on the screen? So she's trying to basically, oh god, that didn't work. She's trying to prove that she wasn't paid for her story. I can tell you that I actually know the Daily Mail and I know a lot of people that work there. I've met a lot of the writers and stuff that work there. I can tell you that they do pay for stories, and it is a well-known thing that the Daily Mail do pay people for information, or if you are the subject of a story and you give your version of events, they will pay you for it. So her sort of talking absolute rubbish about she wasn't paid, and then I'll show you the text message. Hold on. She puts up this text message and it doesn't explain who it's from. It's just you could write it on your own phone about anything. Hold on. I'm just trying to get down to the actual thing. All right, here we go. There we go. Yeah. Sorry, it's very light. But she says, can you do something to confirm something for me, please? That I did not get paid for any comments in today's article. And they said, hi, no, you didn't ask for a payment and you were not paid for the story in today. Thank you. But that could be anyone. They don't show the number, they don't say who it's from, they don't say who works at the Daily Mail, nothing. Yeah, they would. I guarantee I know people who write for the Daily Mail and they do pay for stories like this. Gail said, I know someone that writes for a paper and they do pay people. Yep. I know for a fact the Daily Mail pays people. Woman of Steel said she comes from an entire family of morons, apparently. The family of moron. I Hate Wanting said she also saying the problem is solved. Not that this is the first step in a long, hard process. Yeah, she's acting like I'm going to get on with my life. I'm going to start posting, like she's posting all these photos, like all these type of thirst trap. Lord, look how cute I am. Look how hot I am. I'm really cute and I'm really hot, and all the boys, they should come and talk to me on the Instagrams. What else did she write? Yeah, she's just posting all these photos of her in dresses and at soccer games or a boxing match, and her in different dresses, and the typical young people thing that they do on Instagram. So it doesn't look like, I would say that I don't think she has learned anything about it. Hold on, guys. Sorry, I feel like I was falling down my freaking chair for like the last 10 minutes. I feel like I just kept getting lower and lower. This thing is so slippery. Like I feel like I just like end up for like 2 feet down. Darkrai said, claimed she wasn't paid, but personally I suspect playing semantics, not technically paid but reimbursed. Yeah, it could be something like that. She gave photos and they paid for the photos. I've been in this game long enough that I know how the media works with payments, and they often declare things in funny ways to say that you weren't paid. And it's a way that they can keep their journalistic integrity by saying that they didn't pay their subject. So Bengal said paid in dolls. That's right. That's what it was. Paid in baby bumps. She got paid in prosthetic baby bumps. That's what it was. Look, while we all had a bit of a laugh, it's not funny though. This guy really went through this, and there is a victim here, and it's not her. It is her partner. Now, I'm not saying he's a good guy. He could be a bad guy. We don't know. But at the minimum, she put him through this. Like at 23, 22, whatever he is, it's horrific to do that to your partner. You are a very dark and twisted person if you feel like at the age of 23 that you need to lie to a romantic partner in this way for whatever reason. You are young enough that it doesn't have to be that guy. It could be any guy. You're not at that point in your life where you need to be holding on to a man. You should have more value for yourself. And you could date anyone. It doesn't have to be this guy. You could get pregnant to another guy. You got many years ahead of you to do that. The fact that you felt the need to do it here is troubling. Very troubling. Yeah, just I find her extraordinary for what she's done. And the fact that she even posted photos of the baby doll online is freaky. Here, Sean he gave me a photo of a baby doll. Here, did it go? Here. Where is it? Yeah. Here. So Sean, this one's more lifelike, buddy. I think this one's more, yeah, lifelike. I think if you had something like this might be more convincing. That other baby had like no color, no realism. It literally looked like some cyborg baby. This baby looks a lot more lifelike. Kelly said, I'm not sure it was criminal though. You know what they say about love and war. That is true. That is true. Sweeney said, you can't say anything to them though, or you're an asshole. Yeah, I know. Content Angel said, you're funny, Pink, dark and twisted. Yes, that's right. Yes. Warner Still said, take some time for yourself, darling. Rest, eat, exercise, and come out of the nut house ready to destroy another man in his family. Well, let's hope not. Let's hope she's all the men over Scotland all know about her, and that they're like, you know how some women have like sayings about men? Well, men have sayings about women too. And one of them is, I don't know if I should tell you this if you never heard it before, but I'm sure you've heard it before. Um, I'm trying to think of a way I can say it that doesn't sound misogynistic or something. Look, there is a saying that you don't stick your pineapple in crazy, and that is good life advice for anyone. Same with women. Don't open your clam for crazy people. It goes both ways. Kelly said the other fake baby looked like the ones you give to a high school. Yeah, it looked like a cheap one from Amazon. Uh, Sean said they look real in the photos, so they sell. Yeah, if it does, I don't know if that's AI or something like that. Could be. Um, anyway, we'll keep an eye on that. I wanted to show you that because I am just astounded that someone would do that for so long and actually put a guy through that. It is pretty horrific. So everyone wants to talk about what's going on in Seattle. Now, I've seen the video that's going around. There is a guy, some content creator. He is getting I don't know what they call him, a Hawaiian honey cone thing. And he's talking to his camera, and then there's shots that go off in the background. And there has been a shooting in Seattle, which is why? Why is it every summer we get some sort of festival and there's a shooting at it? I swear I've covered about, I think every summer since I've had the channel, we've had some sort of community festival where someone has brought a gun. It has happened every year I've owned the channel, and it is very sad. They're saying here 2 dead, at least 5 injured, including a 2-year-old boy in a mass shooting near iconic Space Needle in Seattle, as terrifying video shows panic festival goers fleeing for their lives. Here, I'll show you the little video. Here's the video of the guy.
Everyone, make sure you guys subscribe. Help me get to 100,000. I'm like 2,000 subscribers away. That is literally one viral video, and 200K. I'll get that plaque that says 100K. Shooting. Oh shit. Oh shit, right here. Get down, get down, get down, get down. Yeah, just get down. Oh, it's right there. Oh shit.
Yeah, so you see all these people, they start running from the gunshots and they don't know where to go. What I find funny is some of them are just walking away at the slowest speed ever. And you go, it could be a real emergency. And you're just like dawdling away from the shooting. I know, be calm and fast, but don't walk as if you're going on a Sunday afternoon stroll. Yeah, I'm just going to see if we can get a update from local media. No, that's not what I want. I want a different story. Hold on. Give me a sec, guys. I want to go to the Seattle news if I can. Yep, here. So I want to go to Como. So I want to head out to Como News in Seattle, and they've got a bit of a coverage here for you.
Mass shooting incident is how many people are actually shot. We've been hearing varying numbers. Lynn Ann Nguyen, I want to go to you and find out what you're hearing from Harborview Medical Center, if I can. Lynn Ann?
Yeah, Michelle, we know during these types of incidents, the information is very fluid and constantly changing, but we did get some new information just from Seattle Fire just now. We know that first responders tried life-saving efforts, and despite that, 2 people were declared dead at the scene. We know that a 40-year-old female has minor injuries. She declined transport to the hospital. A 39-year-old woman is in stable condition, and she was taken here to Harborview. A 2-year-old boy also in stable condition. condition. Paramedics also took him to Harborview Medical Center. A 23-year-old man is also in stable condition. Paramedics transported him here to Harborview, and a 56-year-old female in serious condition also here at Harborview. So it looks like 4 adults here at the hospital and 1 child with injuries, and then 2 dead at this point. I did talk to an employee out here. They showed me an email that said that the hospital is on lockdown as of 7 p.m. You can see the police presence, increased police presence, as well as security presence out here. No one is allowed into the hospital right now as they receive patients. Of course, people can leave, but again, no one allowed in here right now. I do want to reiterate the latest information we have from Seattle Fire is that 2 people were declared dead on scene. A 40-year-old female with minor injuries declined transport to the hospital. 39-year-old woman taken to the hospital in stable condition. 23-year-old man in stable condition, also at the hospital. A 56-year-old woman in serious condition here at the hospital, and then also a 2-year-old boy in stable condition here at Harborview. But for now, we'll send it back to you.
All right. And Lynn, before you go, so that brings the total victims to 7. Just
And I always ask myself, why is it that we can't just have a nice festival with people and have a fun Sunday afternoon? Why does someone always have to bring a firearm and think it's a great idea to open fire on people? It is. Why can't we just have nice things, right? Why can't we just have fun? And there's always someone willing to be a dickhead. They're saying here 5 others were also treated at the scene, 4 of whom were rushed to a local hospital, including that 2-year-old boy and a 23-year-old man and 2 adult women. They're saying of those women, 1 is now in critical condition, is undergoing surgery at Harborview Medical. 1 person was in custody in connection with the shooting, according to the Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson. Their identity has not been released at this time, but it is expected that they will end up being publicized later on. I'm just trying to see if there was a better one, better update. So the gunfire erupted around 6 p.m. at the annual festival, which draws hundreds of thousands of visitors to the campus. And they're saying 1 person remains in custody. Their identity and motive has not been released at this time. So we're going to have to wait and hear, like, why would someone do this? Like, for what reason? Why would you even bring a firearm? Why would you open fire in a group of people? It's really boggles the mind why someone would think this is okay. And the law really needs to come down hard on them and, yeah, tell them, like, this is not okay. People are, they're within their rights as citizens to go to a festival and enjoy their Sunday afternoon in the summer without fear. It is wrong, and people that do this type of thing are they really need the book thrown at them. The fact that your ideal Sunday is taking a firearm to a family-friendly event, that should tell you everything you need to know about the person behind it. I Am Morning said, we talked about going to the Bye to Seattle, but decided with my wheelchair acting up not to go. You're very lucky, my friend. I'm glad you're okay. Woman of Steel said they're the best Como 4. They're the only one I could access, unfortunately. Sean said, my knee hurt today. I'd be sprinting ahead of everyone. Yeah, I was surprised, like, why people, I mean, I guess they're not sure where the threat is, but people were just walking as if they had nowhere else to go. They were just like, hey, let's slowly walk away from the gunfire. Like, we don't want people running. There was one woman who actually had her leg damaged because she tripped and fell, and then someone stomped on her leg while they were evacuating. So, yeah, we don't want people doing that, but you could also move a little faster. You could also go a little quicker. So don't be one of these people who, um, trips other people and hurts them. I found this interesting. At the festival, You can get frog legs. Stacy must be there, I guess, because she must be the main supplier of the festival. She must be supplying the frog legs to them. And then alligator bites. Yep, there you go. I don't know where you get the alligators from. Florida, maybe. Maybe in Florida. And what else can you get? Po' boy, jambalaya. I don't know what that is. Something on a stick. Crispy something. Pulpo tapas. So yeah, you get also. I don't. It just shocked me that there'd be frogs' legs. Like, why is that a thing that you eat in Seattle? Is that a typical meal in Seattle? KIRO, yes, Kiro, yes, I've used them before. Let's see. Berlin Pride. There was one earlier today. Yeah, I did see that in Berlin. Marlene said they kept everyone safe during the World Cup and was surprised because they cannot even have a parade without a pew pew. Yeah, I don't get it. We need to boycott Seattle. I don't know if we have to boycott Seattle. I think we just need to get the bad people out. Marilyn said, been to Seattle years ago and drove to Mount Rainier. Beautiful skyline. I don't think I've ever been to Seattle. Content Angel said, no, apparently frog legs are not eaten commonly in Seattle. Yeah, it's a taste of like Washington. And I was like, is there a lot of frogs in Washington? Is that what they do? Like, how does that work? It was interesting. Not a festival food that I would have thought would be a big thing. And then they have these Hawaiian honey things. Have you seen them? What are they called? Hawaiian. Yeah, these Hawaiian honey cones. We don't have them in Australia. It's not a thing that is like a fashion fad thing here. But they apparently are in America at the moment. These things, it's a type of ice cream cone that is made of corn, and it has like honey in it too. So it's in a J shape, and then they fill it full of ice cream. I mean, it seems phallic in nature. I could see a lot of funny photos being taken. I could see some references to Requiem for the Dream being said when you eat one of these. I could imagine a lot of dirty jokes being done. Content Angel said, learn something new today. Ice cream churros made out of corn. They're not like a churro. Churro is like solid. These are hollow inside, and then they put the ice cream all the way through it. So it's sort of like a churro, but sort of not like a churro. But yeah, they're made of corn, and I'm guessing they're using an extraction device similar to the way they make corn chips. So a lot of corn chips that are made out of corn are used through a high pressure extraction or extrusion device, and I would think that this is made in a similar way, that it is probably like a liquid, and then it gets extruded through the shape that you want it to be, and then they cook it. They probably cook it, like fry it or air bake it, and then it turns into this type of thing. But it seems like a pain in the ass to eat. You know, you got two different things filled with ice cream here, and yeah. Anyway, apparently they are a popular festival food in America this year. So this year they're like really popular. Comes with 2 condoms. Apparently so. You should give it to that other lady. Get pregnant twice as fast. One still said, we eat the S out of frog's legs. Tastes like chicken with a lizardy aftertaste. I don't think I've ever had frog's legs, and I don't think I want it. I don't want to eat a frog. I don't. Why would I want to do such a thing in my life? Sean said, I'm not serving it to my kids. No, I think it might be an 18+ dessert. Missy said, "Frog legs, dear God, I'm gonna have a nightmare." Yeah, no frog's legs for you. Do they have a large French community? I don't think so. I've never heard of Seattle having a large French contingency. Crocodile is horrible. I've had crocodile before. It's not that great. Like fishy chicken, yeah, it's not that good. How about Rocky Mountain oysters? Maybe you have that with your Hawaiian honey cone, and then you get the beans and the sausage at the same time. All right, this is going off the tracks. Franken beans. Marilyn said, "I've never seen this before." Go to a festival, get shot, and get a honeycomb all in one day. All in one day, you can have all of it. So yeah, there you go. A thing that they are doing at festivals. So if you head to a festival, you'll probably be able to find one. There you go. The Bite of Seattle. There you go. There's the big entrance thing. They shut it down for a bit. What a horrible way to end what should have been a highlight of the summer for the city of Seattle. There was one last year at a honey festival in California. And it's like, why would you take a firearm to a honey festival in California? Like, what are you going to do? Fight the bees? What are you there for? Security, so the bees don't come back and take their honey? It's weird. It's like, can you go anywhere without taking a firearm to shoot someone? Like, do you have to have a firearm? Like, why do you have it? Like, why do you need it on such a day? It's supposed to be a fun day. I don't get it. I Hate Morning said, "We have a lot of amazing food places. The Bite helps people become aware of the many food vendors in and around Seattle." Yeah, it's a good idea. Fried alligator is my favorite food. Probably something you should keep to yourself. I don't know. I reckon, yeah, you can have that one. Content said there was a shooting at a garlic festival in 2019. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't understand why people think it's something you should go and do. Hey, let's go out today. We'll take the firearm with us and we'll shoot some people at the food festival. Why would you do that? Oh, can't go anywhere without a firearm. What do you mean? Well, the bad guys might be there. No, you're the bad guy. Remember, you shot and hurt people. You weren't there defending the festival. You shot other people. Other people. 3 dead, 5 injured. New update. Another person has lost their life, unfortunately. An update that just came out. A third person has been killed in the shooting in Seattle, unfortunately. It was 2 people a little bit ago. And just now, that update has come out that a third person has been killed. That is very sad. So 2 people were killed on the spot in the festival. This third victim succumbed to their injuries in hospital. I hope it was not one of those 43-year-old women that were taken to a hospital nearby. They were supposed to be in surgery over the last couple of hours. I hope that's not what has happened. That is awfully, awfully tragic that they would head out for this nice day out and then they would end up in a hospital under emergency surgery and not survive the surgery. That is very sad. Bring back the DP for Washington. Yep, that would be good. That is sad. We'll probably get names of these people tomorrow, I would think. So maybe the victims will get an idea of who they are tomorrow. Uh, yeah, I'm going to take you out to King 5 in Seattle for a bit of an update. I don't think it has the update about the third person, but they're saying here that there was a woman who was critically hurt who was under emergency surgery in hospital. Maybe, unfortunately, she is the one who died. I would think so. That is terrible. Very terrible. Hold on. Do it.
We rely on our first responders at a time like this to keep our community safe, and that's why I support them.
Have you spoken to all the victims' families?
We have officers on the scene. We obviously get contact from potential family members of victims, so they may have information for us, so we will try to work with them. We have a number of support services on scene, including chaplain services that are here to support both the officers who obviously went through the stressful and traumatic situation, and as well as those families, witnesses, and people that are affected by what happened today.
Your thoughts about those officers, man? They ran right into this.
I mean, this heroic work gets done daily in the city. Unfortunately, it takes a horrible, tragic situation like that for you to hear about all the hard work that our officers do. Yeah, please, when you see them, thank them for their service, recognize their work. There was some heroic work done today. I'm sure there were some lives that were saved because of it, but it's nothing that we're going to celebrate right now. This is a tragedy. This is something that we want to prevent. We always want to get it right. We always want to keep somebody safe. And so when our lives are lost, it's a tough time for our city. So I appreciate the officers. I appreciate their efforts. This could have been worse, but yeah, it's still a tragedy that unfortunately happened today. My hearts go out to all of those that were affected by this, including the family and the people that lost their lives today.
Congresswoman Jayapal, has the Trump administration been briefed on what's happening here at the federal level?
I know that the FBI has been in touch, obviously, and we are coordinating across all different levels of government. We're going to continue to work with the mayor, with the governor, to make sure we get whatever federal resources we need here on the ground. And let me also just add my thanks to Seattle police officers, as well as fire department professionals, as well as those at Harborview, the frontline medical professionals that are treating the victims tonight and dealing with the pain of the families that are suffering through this. We will continue to closely coordinate across all of our offices to make sure that the city gets what it needs so that we can figure out exactly what happened here, get the resources we need, get the support we need to the families and to the community. I know I've heard from a number of constituents who are here at Bite of Seattle, and I know it was traumatic for everyone who was here, and it's such an incredible festival. I know it means a lot to our community, and so I'm sorry, our prayers, our hearts are with all those who were affected by tonight, and just know that all of us are working very hard to make sure we get to the bottom of this.
Is there an ongoing war in the danger for the general public?
No, not at this time. We believe there's no danger to the general public related to this incident.
But you are searching for a second person. Sorry, were you attending the bite, ma'am?
No, I was not at the bite.
Oh, were you in the area?
No, I was in West Seattle, but immediately was in touch with the mayor and with the governor as soon as we heard what happened.
Roughly, where are you looking for the second person?
Where are we looking for?
The second person.
Well, we're looking in the immediate area. So we got witness accounts that there might have been some possible suspects in the area. And so that's where we directed our search right after the incident occurred.
Saw officers combing the Seattle Center area. Is this area secure?
It is secure. We believe it's secure. If you mean it's secure in the sense that there's any outstanding suspects, we don't believe there's any on the grounds.
Did you say something about the age of the suspect that you?
I did not.
Can you share anything about?
I would say that
underage.
they're a young person, and that's what I'm comfortable saying at this point.
Is the suspect in custody
Age of
also?
the deceased.
We'll not be able to share that at this
When
time.
will you share information about the deceased?
We should have information coming out in the coming hours. We'll have our blotter. We'll put some information out there with some more details. And of course, you can always contact Seattle Police Department Public Affairs and get more information from our team there.
Is the suspect in custody also described as a young person?
Yes.
But an adult, though, right?
I'm not going to say whether adult or juvenile at this time.
I've been hearing from vendors and musicians that played that they really want to continue this festival. It's so important to the community and to the artists and the musicians that were involved. So they expressed to me.
So I'll leave it there, but they're just getting through some questions now. It sounds like from the information that I've been able to look at, that was a 56-year-old woman who was in surgery. It sounds like she might be the woman who passed away. That is freaking sad. They're saying the other three patients are a 2-year-old boy and a 23-year-old man and a 39-year-old woman. they are all okay. They are in a satisfactory condition in hospital, but that 56-year-old woman was in a critical condition and had already been undergoing emergency surgery. Now that we got that update, I hope it's not that woman. Um, that is awfully sad. They're saying the Seattle mayor office confirmed that the police had a suspect in custody. They're calling them a young person, and they're saying 2 people died at the scene, and then a third person was treated in hospital, but unfortunately passed away. That is terrible. Terrible that, I really do believe in community being able to have these kind of events where everyone comes together from all walks of life and gets to enjoy that sort of community atmosphere with other people. And it's horrific when people decide to take it into their own hands to do this type of thing. It fractures the community because then people don't trust going to these type of events. And to me, that's very sad because it's these type of events that keep us together. When we live in large cities or large suburbs, we don't get chances to do things as a community. But when you have these type of festivals on or events, they are a time when we get to go see other people from where we live and, mingle with either visitors to our area or people who live there. And then to taint that with a shooting is, it's selfish for one, criminal for another to kill 3 people. But it just shows you the state of mind of some people to walk into a area like this where hundreds of thousands of people go to this festival while it's on, and decide to that whatever you're doing, whatever your needs are, whatever your problem is, that it's okay to pull out a firearm and shoot people. You're the problem. And I hope whoever it is, whether it is a young person, that the law comes down on them like a ton of bricks. It's not okay to fracture what people think is safe. And a community festival where we get to go and try food from different vendors and food trucks who are part of the community. You're supposed to be there to support them. Support these vendors who service your city year round, but in other places, and they come together for the festival, and they should be supported, not have it taken away by someone like this. And to me, that is just selfish. It's selfish to do that and to take that away from everyone. It's horrible, really, really horrible. It should have been fun. Everyone should have been having some summer fun and yeah, like this. What is this? Some sort of gifts for every pet parent. Oh, like little keychains, and I don't know what this was. Some sort of maybe like squishy toys or something like that at Beyond. So they had like all these different stalls, and unfortunately marred by violence today. And I bet you that 56-year-old woman never thought she'd be going to this Bite of Seattle festival and winding up never going home. Hopefully, we find out more on the names of these people. That is very awful. I feel sad for her family. Imagine that. Imagine if that's your mom and she's headed out to go have some fun with the family, and you hear that some selfish jerk off has fired off a weapon in a public place, and your mom has been hit as a innocent bystander and died in hospital. This all happens within like a 3-hour period today. You would be beside yourself, I think. Absolutely beside yourself. Um, I hope the community looks after the families of these people. That's very, very just, I don't even know how you describe it. It's just really sad. I'm just trying to see here if we have any idea on who these 3 people might be. Private scene. Yes, I think it was that woman that was undergoing the surgery at Harborview Medical. I think most likely it was her. They're saying that she was the only critical that was left. That's uh, horrible. So that was the update. That was their press conference. Everyone had been waiting for this press conference for hours, and they finally gave it. But they just basically told us just one more person had passed away. They're saying here that the victims were transported, all of them, to Harborview, including that 56-year-old woman, a 2-year-old boy, a 23-year-old man, a 39-year-old woman, and a 40-year-old woman. They're saying here that the 39-year-old, the 23-year-old, and the 2-year-old are in stable condition, and the 40-year-old woman only suffered minor injuries. But it is that 56-year-old woman that was in a critical condition, and I'm guessing, like, based on the reports, that it was most likely her. That is terrible. But they're saying here that one suspect has been taken into custody. They are looking for another person, and more information on that other person will come to light in the coming hours. Now, they're saying that the ATF is involved, and they are currently investigating, along with some other 3-letter agencies. They are also investigating what's going on. Here, I'm going to take you. They're saying here that, yeah, the ATF is involved, and they are currently running point on this investigation, which makes sense because a firearm was let off. What are they saying here? A fifth sustained. Yep. Okay, hold on. Let me double check this. 3 dead, 4 injured. Young person in hospital, ATF involved. What else? They're saying here that they believe the 2 people who were shooting at each other, adding that the SPD has recovered 2 guns. One suspect is still outstanding, and they're saying there may be more suspects. They're trying to figure it out. But they did find 2 firearms. Multiple local, state, and federal agencies are involved following the shooting, including the FBI, the ATF, Seattle's Homicide Unit, the Gun Violence Reduction Unit, CSI Unit, King County Law Enforcement, Washington State Patrol. The state SWAT team is also en route, and they're saying here that King County Prosecutor's Office saying that the suspect is expected to make their first court appearance on Monday morning, and that they are expected to press charges later tonight. So there you go. That suspect going to face court tomorrow morning in Seattle. There you go. Warner still said, I grew up here. I love Washington. May have to go away soon if things don't change. That is sad that you would have to go away. Gayla said it was mainly women that, yeah, I noticed that. Mostly women. Yeah, I can't pronounce their names. That's right. Kim said, we go or have gone every year. We are in town for my birthday weekend. I'm glad you didn't go today. You love funnel cake? I have never had a funnel cake ever. I've never had one, and I suspect it's like a pancake, like a mix between a waffle, a pancake, and a donut. And, you know, it's got the, what do you call it? Like the powdered sugar on the outside. I would suspect it's very similar to that. I've never had one though. Let's see. Huh. How about we end on something good for tonight? So apparently Jimothy the raccoon. Do you guys remember that raccoon? All right, shush. Do you remember I told you about Jimothy the raccoon, the one that has the short spine syndrome? Well, the Washington authorities have named him I'm probably not going to be able to pronounce this. Washingtonarian of the day. So Timothy's been ceremoniously upheld by the local government, and he has been given a day in Washington, which I think is funny. But isn't that cute? So I'm going to show you a photo, if I can, of our friend, Mr. Jimothy, because I think here he is. There he is, our friend Jimothy the raccoon, who is the funniest creature ever. And I love how he somehow is thriving in suburbia, even though he has this birth defect that he's lived with his whole life. But they are saying that Jimothy, the beloved raccoon, has taken Seattle and the world by storm. Now, Washington Governor Bob Ferguson is bestowing a new accolade upon the controversially cute critter. And they're saying on Thursday, Governor Ferguson named Jimothy as the Washingtonian of the day. The informal honor celebrates Washington residents who inspire others in some form. And he's saying because he has captured the hearts of the nation and brought attention to the area in a positive way, that he deserves to be bestowed this very high honor from the governor's office. So, we have something very sad happening in Washington right now, but at least there was some good news out of the area in the last few days, that he is being honored, that he is the resident of the day, which is funny because, well, raccoons are funny creatures, but his mom, Jimbolina, that'd be funny if that's really the name. Yeah, he probably does say that. Serena said, "My mother grew up in Tacoma. It changed so much for the worse." I have never been to Tacoma. Yeah, I did. It has a little animation that plays, and there's a little animation of him running across the screen. That if you type his name into Google, it plays this little animation of him running across. So if you type his name, you can see it too. But I found that cute that the governor is going to honor him with this, very prestigious thing, Washingtonian of the Day. And they're saying it's an informal honor that celebrates Washington residents who inspire others in some form. So, yeah, there you go. I think that is a little bit of fun, even though there's very sad things happening in the area right now. So I hope so many people have sort of latched onto him now. I hope that no one hurts him because he's so well known, that people don't try and capture him and hug him or, something like that. I hope, because if he bites someone from someone getting too close to him and trying to pick him up or something, that could end up very bad for him. Look, apparently they took a photo of him when he was a baby. Look. This is him as a little baby raccoon. Isn't that cute? He's so small. He's a tiny little raccoon. Look. So that was him as a baby, but now Washingtonian of the day, Jimothy. Yes, hot Jimothy summer. So if you are in the area, you've got a new influencer. Maybe he'll get some brand deals. Cat Food Central. They will sponsor him with cat food, maybe. Yeah, you have the desire to live in a dumpster. Ay, ay, ay. So yeah, there you go. I'll leave it there. Hopefully we get some good news out of this Seattle shooting. Hopefully there's going to be an arrest, or I don't know. Hopefully no one else dies. I think that would be a good outcome. That's just really sad. That these are the type of events that really upset me, because I truly do believe in community being able to do these type of events, and that the fact that there's selfish people in this world that are like, you know what I'm going to do today? I'm going to go to this event where I know my rival, my arch nemesis is also going to be there. So I better take my Glock and I better get there. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to get into a deep group of over 200 people. And then when I see his face, I'm going to draw my gun and shoot, not at the guy that I'm angry at, just everyone else around him, because I can't shoot anyone because I'm a shit shot. And I'm going to injure everyone else, including killing 3 people. That's what they're thinking. And that's devastating. I think I hope the judge, the law, the court throws the absolute book at them. Like, that is, it's not okay. It's just not okay to have that happen. And the city deserves better. The city deserves better. So I'll bring you some updates tomorrow when we know. Hopefully there's more updates on who the second person is. We don't know a lot right now. They're just saying they are looking for at least one other person, at least. There could be 3, there could be 5, we don't know. But at least one person now is in custody. So that is good news. But hopefully you find out who some of these people who have unfortunately been killed. Hopefully you find out who these people are so that we can, let you know who was hurt in this shooting. I'll be back tomorrow. And I will hang out with you then. Hey, thanks to the people who support this channel. I appreciate it. You guys are very kind. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.